You got a moment of Lana Lux's voice there. I was hosting her channel and snuck into the stream. Excuse me. Here we are. I didn't give myself a new title. It's a thing I'm supposed to. I mean, I'm not supposed to do it. What do I want my new title today? We're still kind of terraforming. This is like pre-stream stuff. I'm slacking. I definitely need a checklist. I keep talking about it. It's the past tense of terraform. Sure. Hi. I'm Scott. We've been working on a Twitch extension, and I think we will continue to do so. I'm definitely the point that I want to like start buttoning up the front end stuff that needs to be submitted to Twitch, and then we can continue to work on the back end and on the weird art executions of it. But as far as the stuff that goes to Twitch, I want to like kind of get that out the door. This contest is over in less than 2 weeks, etc., etc. So let's get back into where we were, which was we were in Unity. Oh, well, maybe made a poor choice. Let's see, how poor of a choice did I make? Music stopped so abruptly. I was gonna maybe change some stream settings. Because when we save those textures out of Substance, the stream takes a hit. But maybe we'll just live with that for today, for this moment. Failed to load cloud projects. Okay, Unity, whatever you say. Let's open some software. I want this new OBS. Somewhere. Yeah, okay, wait. Sure. Oh, lots of software trying to talk to me simultaneously. Wait, where? Hello? Is all the software open? Great. Terrific. Let's go over here. Where's the software? There it is. This new stuff, this OBS. So OBS proper hasn't been updated in a minute. 2.2.0 was like some time ago, last summer. The last big old release. So those release candidates, yeah, around August. Around August of last year. So it's been a minute. And now this new one is in release candidate stage. I'm not sure how long it's going to stay there, but pretty interested in this. The NV encoder, which I'm not using at all right now. I'm using the QV encoder, whatever it is, the one that's on the chip, on the CPU, and then software for the stream. But maybe I'll switch to this. I don't know. Cost of increased GPU utilization, increased GPU utilization. I don't know. I mean, I got a 1080 in there. I don't feel like we're often like hitting that hard. Okay, what are we doing? Let's open the old Earthscape. So where we landed yesterday was we were doing kind of okay with, yeah, that's really what it looks like. With the reflection makes so much difference. Like, it just doesn't look wet right now. It doesn't look wet enough. Or the smoothness, turning down the smoothness is what it was. Like, if we go here and we turn down the smoothness a little bit, or the roughness, pardon me. It's smoothness and Unity, roughness here. Like, look at that wet thing. Look at that wet water. That's because it's reflecting like somebody's backyard. Maybe not the ideal. I don't quite know what to do about that. I think it's maybe a little too high. But we end up with a little, like the specular we end up with in Unity is not beautiful. This doesn't look like water. So here's where we currently stand. Our water doesn't look very wet, but I guess water from outer space doesn't necessarily look wet. Maybe instead of this point, we want to... So that's a handy thing in... what's it face? A high definition render pipeline. You can do HDR lighting. So we have this and we have some sand and it seems to be working. It's kind of, the shader graph just seems sort of needlessly intense, but maybe that's okay. So the next thing I want to do is try to, so we've got this figured out for two materials, sort of. It's not really two materials, it's one material with 1 million shader channels. That looks like this. And this seems silly, kinda. But it's what we got, where we have to, for each individual, man, there's gotta be a better way to do this. What is that way? Because I mean, we're just gonna have to keep doing this when we add more shader channels. Like they'll just kind of daisy chain along where we start with water, we add sand, and then we add rocks, say. And it just feels like it's going to get untenable fairly quickly. This is the sampler of this. This we use repeatedly. Maybe that's okay, because we're probably gonna have to start feeding this into a smooth step. Or a clamp? I don't know. That's a weird one because I want to like above and below a range black it out, but leave it what it is in the middle, sort of. I don't know. I think we're just gonna have to just do it and see how it works. So let's do this. Let's get Maya. Music seems loud to me again. There are trees next to rocks. Let's do rocks and then we can inject trees later, I guess. We will never find this file. We really should have this here, not this. I wish this would go away. Okay, great. Heat. And then we'll go to heat unity and we'll go to good grief. Change the path to it. And we put the path over here. Okay, so let's just keep. What's next? Plants? I don't want plants separate from trees, like light green, then dark green, then the mountains, maybe something like that. So let's do this. Let's we gotta get a better mesh at some point. Yes. Okay. We want a new material that is a Fong. We will call plants material. And then we will export this. It's probably really not the right way to do this, but it's a way to do it. Okay, so we will now do this thing that substantates. That didn't break too horribly. Okay, so plants. We need some plants. We really want plants from outer space, though. We have some scale problems with a lot of these. But maybe what we'll end up doing is like layering a bunch. Ground? Guess we want to be in the ground category. This is something in the right realm. Man, these look cool. Like the snow one. Iceland, a mossy meadow. What kinds of dirt? Not a lot of plants. That's good sand. Grass countryside. This you could almost pretend was from outer space. Let's just start with this one and see where we arrive. Good grief. Okay, so that'll be our water. This will be our plants. Not looking great, really. I don't actually like this one very much. Let's go with it for now, just so we can get started on the shader. Okay, this will probably break the stream a little bit. Sorry. I'll try to hold very still and then no one will know that the stream is frozen. Don't move a muscle. I'm not moving. I'm not holding perfectly still. I blinked. Okay, that seemed okay. I think we did okay there. Meanwhile, back in Unity. Man, this seems like a weird way to do this. I don't know how to get these slices. We want these slices. I kind of think we can do it with a smooth step, but smooth step. Let me a little refresher here. where threshold function with a smooth transition is desired. So not really what I want. I want to like carve a slice out. This is almost what I want. Not notes, nodes. No. Think about what we want here. It's not just a clamp. So the thing we want is this. We want a texture 2D called plants albedo. And it will care about this, and it's going to come in here. And so the idea previously was to lerp between these two based on this full range. We don't want to do that anymore. We want to lerp based on like a very specific window. Think about this. What exactly do we want in this case? We want like a smooth step right at the edge. So if we just had a smooth step, well, this is weird. I'm having trouble visualizing this in my brain. Maybe we can make all these into a subgraph because the idea is going to be essentially the same all the way down. Maybe. And then each of them will just take in X number of textures like per channel. Maybe that's the way to do it. Okay, so here's the deal. We want to essentially say first at some specific window. Are you making Discord art? What's going on over there, Jacqueline? Are you distracting me? What are you editing now? Okay, here's what we want. We want a certain grayscale value up to a certain point to be water. And then we want there to be a transitional boundary. And then we want everything above that to be sand. So that kind of sounds like making a smooth step. So is it a smooth step multiplied by the mask? Problem is the smooth step is going to give us a 0 to 1 interpolation inside that window and put a like. We really just want a slice of that mask. Oh, okay. So if I scroll back up to the Hello Scott line, test 1, test 2, test 3. Is that the right one? Oh, whoa. You made it's like a beautiful ocean. Look at the beautiful ocean you made. The wrapping is a little insane, right? How does it even decide where to wrap? Dracon's making this beautiful ocean in Discord. Looks a little out of control. Yeah, I wonder if you can get like a Twitch API key or something. I'm sorry, a Discord API key that would let you send too many messages. Sometimes when you have a key, you know, on backend stuff, you're gonna be banned from Discord forever. Don't get banned from Discord. Just make a bot that just spawns 1 million fake Discord users, and then each of them can just do one drop in the ocean. Okay, what do I actually want to happen here, Draklin? It's a pretty weird one. So I basically want to say that there's a grayscale value below which it will always be the color. And then at a certain window, maybe this really is just a smooth step and I'm making it hard in my brain. What we need is an example, probably. Like instead of, let's bring in a generator for our earth mask. Maybe if we bring in some noise or something. Procedural. Nope, noise. Can I not treat this noise as a texture? That's kind of lame. Oh, I can. I'm doing this wrong. This needs to stay here. What I need to do though is to connect all these fellows to this. Oh, that's kind of lame. Can I have a little intermediate thing? It's kind of what a preview is, I guess. How do I I don't know about you, node editor. Nose editor. You're gonna go into here. And you're gonna go into here. And you're gonna go into here. So that would be the mask. I don't like the keyboard they have set up, or they're like their mouse nav doesn't feel quite right to me. Okay, so then what we would do is grab this noise and feed the noise in here instead. Yeah, great. So then we get a preview of our business. Wish I could rotate this, but alas, I cannot. Okay, so that gives us kind of an idea, right? So what we want to do instead is when we get something like this, instead of just taking that value in, we want to do a smooth step times that value. So if we said basically like the edge was it's gonna be a weird one. It's like not fully visualizing this thing in my brain. think it's what I want. I think I need to just make up an edge. But then what's the value that goes in it? Like if this was 0.1, 0.1, and this was 0.2, and this was 1.5, 0.115. I get a 50% gray. Because it's just going to interpolate between there. And that's not really what I want. I need something that is more like... is it really just a step? Then I feel like that edge is not going to be... Okay, wait. I think I got it. I think... I don't know. This is weird to visualize. Forgive me. I'm still learning these. So if the edge is 0.1, okay, with the step function, zero, if it's less than edge, 1 is returned otherwise. So whatever the number that went in, which in my case would be sort of what do I want? I want like an upward boundary. And then I want a smooth gradation between. How do I get that softness though? The softness is the weird part. So I really want to take this guy, this fellow down here. These keyboard shortcuts do not feel right to me. Alt middle click. I basically want to take this and say, cut it off beyond a point. Maybe that's a min-max thing. Min would give me everything up to a certain point. So it wouldn't give me the soft edge though. Like I basically want a slice of this, but then I want that slice to still function as a gradient. Let's try with the smooth step. Just see what we get. It's just weird. I just like this node-based shader editing is just not quite sure what to think of it. Is that really all I want? That would give me everything up to a certain point. Really, that may be all I want. I think I'm maybe overcomplicating it. So up here, when we go And then this is sort of the control of where that happens. Why would that be? So if I want to say like the first little bit towards white. This is backwards then, I guess. This needs more like 0.8. So that means only the most white, which is really the opposite of what I want. I want to be like between 0 and 0.2, and then how does that compare to the thing I'm actually dealing with? So those areas are still black. These shortcuts are not treating me well. So I want black to be water. So I would really just want like a little thing like this, where it sort of went black to white and then was white all the way above. So I think this is actually what I want. It just looks crazy. Let's try it. And it will make more sense once we have other slices. Okay, then the thing we would want is, I think, just to do the exact same thing. And man, why can't I? I don't know. Some software muscle memory is not treating me well here. Now, once we have this, we need to do the same thing. And in this case, it's still going to come from here. Come on, little guy. Keyboard killing me. So we say like, really this could be like 0.2 and 0.25. And then there'll just be a narrow slice with a little bit of fading. We can really figure out what the math is later. Like a 10% edge. Doesn't really seem like enough, actually. And then here we would do, well, let's just try this. 3.6. And we will feed in what? A lerp. And this lerp will take the output of this and the output of this and lerp based on this. Hey, look at that. Okay, and then this is what will go down here. And now we get grass. Okay, I was making it harder than it needed to be. That actually wasn't too horrible. So the way it's structured is we have a texture, and then for the next iteration, we have a texture and a lerp and a smooth step. just have to do that repeatedly. Seems not very performant, but hey. Okay, let's add mountains, maybe. Okay, what does this look like? Probably silly. Well, that doesn't look right because we don't want to use this. We actually want to use this. This is just for testing. Well, we have a beautiful bloody planet. What did I do? That's only the red channel. Maybe that'll work. What's happening to the grass? Quite sure the way to structure this in a way that it will not be insane. That's just going into the lerp. Why, in the process of lerping between those, are we getting crazy results? Kind of want to ditch this stuff until we get it. Like, not even worry about... Let's do that. I may regret this, but I kind of want to get it all working, and then we'll worry about the additional channels, like normals and all that jazz. Like, kind of just want to get it going with color. Why are you turning into snow? My edges not make sense? It's 0 to 0.3 and then 0.3 to 0.6. The in should just be the red channel. Amps albedo. So when we just had noise here and we plugged the noise in, it looks like it did the thing. Oh, I know why. I know why. It's a silly problem. This is a silly problem and it's my own fault. Undo this. Can I? It's because it's not assigned here, I betcha. No, not assigned on the material. Foolish problem. Not worried about those other channels just at this moment. Okay, so this should give us grass. And the beach is kind of a small window, but it's just the transition. We'll have to like look at that and actually think about how that works. Okay, so I want to start cleaning this up in a way that it has some hierarchy and depth to it, and that we don't just keep repeating the same thing all over the place. So two options are we do it channel by channel and just make something that knows how to take in all this nonsense, like takes in however many textures and then does its thing. I think that's what we do. And just have one per channel, like a combiner. So I think what we need to do is convert to a subgraph. And then the idea would be that we just feed in. Really, this should be Can I have two graphs open simultaneously? Okay, that's pretty cool. So we don't want these. No, we do, actually. Because those are just going to come in. You're going to be sand. You're going to be water. Feels like there's got to be a tidier way to do this, but oh well. And this is like mask. And then I don't really need this preview anymore. You just plug the mask in here. And then what are you doing? Mysterious floating thing? That looks like a bug. And plug in our individual channels. Maybe. I don't think it's gonna, this isn't great because it's not really gonna work for the normals. Unless, is that set here? No, you have to set it on the sampler. That kind of sucks. I'm gonna just say that sucks a little bit. I don't have a great solution for that. Unless we send it in as an array. Maybe that's the way to do it. Send in a texture array of each of the individual. Let me think about that. That still doesn't feel great. So we sample all the textures out here and then feed them in. Maybe that's the thing to do, is say that this doesn't want textures on the way in. It wants Oh, it's like a vector 4. I mean, we still have a ton of samplers on the outside, but maybe that's just how it goes. Water. Sand. Plants. So what this will mean is that instead of having to sample here, we just take this straight into the lerp. Be nice to kind of preview these. I guess I could bring in the preview, make preview nodes. And this goes away. And let me throw plants in here. Then we'll sample all these on the outside, and this whole dude's job will just be to combine things and then spit them out as a vector 4. Yeah. That's not the worst idea. Maybe. Okay, so then out here, we gotta re-handle our business. I don't like this thing floating around. I don't feel good. So we still have to sample all this stuff. It's making me mad. Why? Why? Cramping my style. Why is there a mystery? It won't delete. Look, errors. Trying to move an edge that does not exist. Story of my life. Let's get back in now. Is it gone? Are we good? Okay, so we want to create a combined subgraph. And we want to create a master PBR. And this is going to be our albedo combiner. Draclin, what's going on over there? I think I figured out how to do this. I don't love it. I wonder, do I want a texture array? Like, you could do something like this, and then you would need a sample. I don't think that's any better. I really don't think it helps us. Okay, here's the thing. So we're gonna take, I made this combiner subgraph that's just gonna go through and do smooth step lerps to stick things together, which I think is gonna be fine. And then I'm just trying to do this thing where it's its own little subgraph node because it was going to be really messy otherwise. So we want water, sand, plants, and the mask. Each of these is just the texture reference. So then you've got to go through and like actually sample the colors from them, but that's not a huge deal. It just seems really redundant, but that's okay. So it'll be earth mask. And that will come out here. And we just want 4 of these. And we'll squish them down in a minute so they're slightly less offensive. Wooder. Sand. Plants. Why does my preview look so not previewy? Okay. Let's squish these slightly. So now, if, for example, I did something like this, this doesn't seem like the right order. If we instead plug some gradient noise in here, we should see a planet. Oh no, am I supposed to add everyone? Life is yours, I'm new to this. I blew it. At everyone. Alert. It's not backwards, it's just this noise is noisy. Like, why can't we see this noise? Yeah. We're really seeing these edges of it. Like this little slice of water, I think is this little slice right here. And this little not quite blob is this. So if we do this and we go here, get out here. Oh, we actually only want the R channel. Okay, so this should be those 3 albedos. This is without bump or anything. Oh no, this is... I'll send out smoke flares, telegrams, carrier pigeons. Problem is this is a little too easy to get into grass zone. We still have to figure out the right parameters for that lerp. Okay, so now that we have this cool thing, we should, in theory, be able to reuse that same little combiner subnode and use it for all the other channels we need. So like this is all of our diffuse albedo. Why do people? I don't even know what that means. We used to call it diffuse. I'm not exactly sure why that channel is now called. Diffuse reflection. So it's just a fancier word for diffuse. It's the diffuse light. Always used to be called diffuse, and now it's a word I'm not even pronouncing correctly probably. Okay, so here's the deal. Is this? We will just use this same combine node. Let's just make a new one. I shouldn't have called it combine. That's already the name of something. Oops. And I believe if we do the exact same thing with our normals, it will all be great. So then we need to just like duplicate this whole jam. This will also go in here. Oh, I missed part of my jam. That's okay. I don't really need it. Witter, sand, plants, and each of these are not, these are all normals, and these are wrong. And now we need witter normals and sand normals. And I didn't do a plant normals yet. Plants normals. Plants normal. Sick with the naming convention. Okay. Kind of like this shader graph. I think I'm kind of getting the hang of it. So we'll feed all that stuff in there, and this should just magically work for our normals. I need to change the type of that to a normal map. So that's all going to go in. It's all going to lerp. I guess you can lerp normals. I actually don't know. I'm gonna assume you can lerp normals. I think we were before. I think it was okay. Okay, so now we need to find this and make sure it is a normal map. Albedo. I mean, in general, I would probably trust a European to speak English better than an American, right? I mean, they might not speak Americanish better, but... Okay, how are we doing here? Oh, look at those normals. Everything's weird and shiny and creepy. This looks gross. What did I do wrong? Why does the grass look so wrong? You spell English better than Norwegian. Yeah, but why is this grass? Look at this grass. It's the wrong texture. Anyway, but I don't know why it looks like that. Really, what those normals look like? Hey, this looks so silly. I mean, I very clearly see the normals of the... This seems like the normals are not working. This seems like I did something incorrectly. Like, maybe you can't actually do the thing that I'm trying to do with normals. Because there's a whole bunch of other normal functions. Maybe you can't lerp normals. I want to, though. Why does this look totally wrong? Oh, I know what it is. This is an easy problem. It's a thing I keep doing. Even though I assigned it in there, it's not going to be assigned here. That's all it is. We just need plants normals assigned here. That will look better. But it's not a texture, it's a material. Weren't you just bragging about your English spelling and then you just said too flat? I actually love that. That's one of my favorite things, that when I accidentally do it is like when I'm talking about being good at something and then I do it wrong is a beautiful moment that I enjoy. Two and two are hard. How are you with the others? Like, I mean, again, you're many Americans struggle with that. I know, that's why no one should ever correct anyone. One of my favorite things also is when people correct, you know, like there's these things that people just don't understand the mechanics of, but they've been corrected about it so many times that they think they understand. Like if I said, you can't say that to my friend Jacqueline and me, somebody might say, it's actually and I, but that would be wrong, because in that case it is and me, just because it would be like, you can't say that to me. But people love to correct for that. The current one that blows my mind is just, I don't feel like anybody in America really understands how to use the word whom. Like it's a meme at this point, basically. But it's always funny to see people try to use whom, thinking they're using it correctly, and then using it incorrectly. What is whom? Whom is Old English? Whom is... Okay, Jacqueline, life is yours. You want to hear my explanation of how to use whom? No. Okay. Here's how to remember it. It's not... to whom am I referring? I'm referring to Encode Games. Hello, Ben. Here's how you remember it. It's not that hard, and I don't understand why people can't, like, I do understand because it's taught poorly. But basically, so intuitively, you know when to use he and him, right? And you know intuitively, for the most part, when to use they and them, or I and me. Just think of it like this. I and me has an M. He and him has an M. They and them has an M. The exact same rules are for who and whom. And the way you think about it is like this. Every sentence has like the hero and the sidekick. Think of it like that. Like the main hero of the sentence is like, I did this, they did that, whatever. But the sidekick is who the hero is doing something to. So like, I gave it to him. I gave it to whom? I gave it to them. It's like the hero is I, they, he, she, who, if you don't know who the hero is. And then the sidekick is they, them, me, whom. And she is the one thing that breaks it. She breaks that rule slightly. But I feel like most people intuitively know, like you don't generally hear people in everyday speech confuse he and him, but people get who and whom mixed up all the time. Shem, there you go. It's perfect. I gave it to whom now? Yeah, to whom. You're to whom. It's the victim. If you think like every sentence has an aggressor and a victim, the victim is whom. Okay, so this in principle is working correctly. We do not have the metallic channel, which is why the grass looks ridiculous. Actually, I'll turn on the let me turn on the thing, the server, and then you can click. Ben, this shader graph, I think I'm starting to get it. Oops. In his feet? That's the weirdest part of your sentence. You kicked him right in the feet. You gonna play with it? It's pretty good. I'm not sure that I'm doing this right. My feeling is it's funny. Like if I was writing a shader and I wrote 7 lines of code, I'd be like, okay, that's not too bad. It's 7 lines of code. But somehow when you see 7 big objects in a graph, you're like, oh no, this is so inefficient. Who's clicking my earth? Please don't draw any creepers. So that grass is a disaster. The water still doesn't look very good. Oh shoot, I just realized something. Oh man. Oh no, track 1. Ben hasn't joined the Discord, so he has not been exposed to that nightmare. So this grass looks like shiny carpet. Not ideal. But we'll fix that by bringing the metallic shader in. What I just realized, and this is a bummer. Man, I wish you could do... What I would like to have is like inside the shader be like, here's a fully realized material. It has all the channels and then blend with other materials. I think maybe you can do something like that with the high definition render pipeline, but not this scrub pipeline. So what I was going to say is I would like to do weird stuff to the water. Maybe we mess with the water texture before we send it in if we want to animate it. And look at you guys. You're doing great. I don't even have to do anything. What a beautiful world you've constructed. Like the water's got to move, right? Water needs to be special. I would like a little bit of shoreline too, but that would be a whole nother set of materials. Like all these little lurpy slices, they just feel expensive. Maybe they're not that bad, maybe, but they just they feel costly to me. I hope you, are you getting, is this a meditative experience you're having? Oh, I know what we want. Here, okay, let's just do this real fast because this is going to make it look better. We'll ignore how bad it looks for the moment, but I think we want, I was thinking about this. I think we can do this really easily, like super easily with the shader graph. If we just, the atmosphere sphere. And then make a, this is gonna be unlit. I think we can just make a Fresnel atmosphere shader. That should be pretty cheap and easy. Maybe. Clouds? I know, we do need clouds. Clouds, we could probably also do in a similar fashion to this. Maybe we can do some noise and do some kind of thresholdy thing. Having the clouds animate is what we got to figure out. I did realize yesterday I was doing something, when I was trying to animate the noise, I was doing something very silly. I was sending, it was a poor choice that I made. Rather than taking the UVs and modifying and animate the UVs, I was just overriding the UVs with a constant value, and that's why they were gray blobs. It was not my best moment. Okay, so what we want is this, I think. I think all we need is to do a Fresnel. Do I need to know any of this, or can I just throw it right in here? Cool. Maybe we want to multiply that times the color. That's not at all transparent, is it? How do I say I want... How do I say I want a shader to be transparent? How do you do that? How would you recommend getting started with some of these shader toys? I mean, I don't know what I would advise. Like, what I want to say, Draclin, is just like, shaders are just little programs, and they're not that complicated. Like, classically, all a shader is two parts when you're thinking of like a GLSL shader, like an OpenGL shader. And forgive me if I use some of the wrong terminology. But basically, you know, you have a mesh, right? And it's just a bunch of vertices that make up that mesh. You have two programs that run. One of those programs is the vertex program, and it just runs on every vertex, and it does some math at every one of these points. And then the other one is the fragment shader, or the fragment part of the program. And it just, once you have those vertices, fills in the blanks between the vertices. And they're just little programs that run. I mean, they're cool because they run on the GPU and everything's in parallel and amazing. But I think it's fun to just write shaders like that, because then you can just come up with weird stuff and be like, oh, what if I just mess with this piece of math or whatever. That said, maybe if you were just starting from scratch, I don't know, you are a programming person. You could figure it out. But this graph is pretty cool. There's also all kinds of weird online if I can remember any of them. There's this GLSL sandbox. There's Shader Toy. This sandbox, I think, was created by Mr. Doob. Uh-oh. Is it trying to run all of these simultaneously while I'm already running Unity? Did my stream crash? Okay, we survived. Okay. Okay, it was created by these fellows, edited by Mr. Doob. But these are cool because you can just get in and like real-time edit the shader. So this one takes your mouse position, it looks like. My mouse doing that? Maybe my mouse is just, no, my mouse is just making that fade up. So this is just some kind of noisy thing. and then creates color out of the noise, but we could easily spec4, that's the alpha. Like if we wanted a red shader, we could just say 1, 0, 0, and we'd have a red screen. Like there's these are pretty cool because you can go through and fork them. There's also Shader Toy, which has like some of the shaders people come up with in here blow my mind out of my skull. Like I don't even, there's people that will do like full landscapes that you're flying through outer space and stuff all in shaders. That's a bit beyond my beyond my ability. I've never messed with this thing. There's also, what's that thing called? Code Life? This thing is pretty cool. If you just want a standalone editor that you can write the shader, but then also have a visual tool to throw in all the parameters and like sometimes potentially like semi-complicated parameters. So you can do pretty cool stuff in here. Kijiro has videos up. Yeah, this is him feeding it into Unity, I think. I think he wrote something that would let him live code in Code Life and then stream that texture into Unity live, which is because he's a master. Like, look at that. Is this all in a shader? I'm not good at that kind of stuff. I'm like good at sort of like kind of I don't know, visual effectsy kinds of shaders, but sort of like design art shaders, I just have not put time into. Did it expire? I thought I said never expire forever. I did specifically say to not let Ben in. Well, shucks. I thought I pushed the button that says don't expire ever. Let me try again. Create an instant invite. Set this link to never expire. Copy. Try that one. And now let me edit the dumb thing. I like just writing shaders in Unity, Draclin. Another thing you can do. Let me do this thing and I'll show you. This thing called edit the panel. Whoa, that's me. I just heard myself typing. Is someone going to somebody's going to write some machine learning thing, right? That's eventually just going to be able to listen to key presses and know exactly what somebody typed. That's on the way, isn't it? We're all doomed. Where to even start? A grass shader. Well, like, what kind of grass shader, I guess? You want to have a surface and create and have it look like grass, or do you want like actual grass waving around, like geometry? It's already a thing. It's heartbreaking. With blades of grass? Well, that's often done with something more spritey. But people do weird screen space foliage stuff. Here's an easy way to start in Unity. If you want to start just writing a shader, this is how I always start, is just go and say shader, and then unlit especially is dead simple. And you can just go in here and then you have a shader and you can just immediately start editing. With grass, yeah, that's fine for static. Like, that's a pretty common thing, right? Is to just have static. If you want actual blades of grass, the only problem with that is it gets computationally expensive very quickly. You can model some grass and make it warble. How do you do a transparent shader? How do you become transparent? Do I just need to, if I give it alpha, will it be transparent? How do I? Um, let's try to spell correctly. Do I have to do anything special? Like the problem is, like looking, even just looking in the material, it thinks that it's not transparent. I mean, I guess I could like tell it to be in the transparent queue and then go here and say that alpha is 0. Remember when I thought this was going to be really easy? I mean, intuitively, I would think that I needed to tell the shader itself to be transparent. What's up with the scene view? You know, it's just being spherical. How do I make you transparent, friend? But I want to see my earth is inside here. Can't see through it. The lit master node. I mean, it kind of looks like it needs to be something on the shader itself, but... Or even it'd be cool to have it be like multiplicative. Like if I wanted it to be blend to blend. But this seems like it's probably gonna blend. Not the output. Lilybite, what's going on? It's been so long since I've seen you. Look at this transparent thing. How do I do it? How are all the things? Let me go in alphabetical order. All things. Well, look at this. Look at that one. That's what we want, right?
Do you want
Not this. No, shh. Okay. Lilybite. I've been working on a Twitch extension that lets you click. Here, we should show. Let's show Lily while I watch this tutorial. Save this. Let's turn this off momentarily because it's broken. And okay, is that gonna work? Oops. Are we receiving clicks? Yeah, I think so. Can we click, everybody? Fresnel? Yeah, I have a Fresnel. I mean, that's what's in there. But I want it Fresnel on transparent is the thing. Properties? Oh, is there some additional? Whoa. You've terraformed the whole planet. That looks like a performance problem. That seems like it stuttered for a minute. Of course I'm making crazy things. Obviously. There's pills for that? Oh no. You chia'd my planet. Look at this, that almost looks like bitmaps. I don't have bitmaps on. Maybe I like this archipelago. And now it's a lake. Redneck aliens. Do only rednecks like chia pets? I hope you're drawing an airplane. That's an airplane, right? Whoa! Draklin, did you just run a script? Make the kisses? Sure, let's turn on kisses. Are we at an entire planet of rednecks? Kisses? Are we kissing? Kisses? Oh yeah, look, now you can shower kisses down on the earth the day before Valentine's Day. So sweet. Lily Draklin made this beautiful giant monster kiss for my kissing booth. I want the big one again. Wait, no, give me, I want the kiss. Where's the big kiss? I'm ready. I'm waiting. Beautiful. What kind of lipstick? I don't know. Some kind of, it's matte, but it's very stylish. We're the universe. I don't even know how to say. Oh, those are the right. So does that mean if aliens come, we're gonna shoot them with arrows? Is it too soon to say that? I apologize. Okay. Here's the thing. Is maybe in this. There's a thing we were missing. Here. No. Here. No. Well, shoot. How? Here? Well, I was just looking at something that made... Ah, right here. Right in front of my face. Surface, transparent. That's what we want. And then blend. Let's do an additive blend. And now, how's our atmosphere? Very chunky. I want a more extreme angle on that. Something like this. Too chunky. Okay, that's kind of like something. Let's give it a color. Maybe. And then we want to multiply, I guess. Does alpha not matter? Just want a hint of an atmosphere, right? How big's the atmosphere? Probably bigger than that. This doesn't look great. I think what actually would be... Okay, this is a bad idea. We should have just have a big fuzzy sprite. Would look better than this. Because we don't want hard edges on the atmosphere. We want the edges to be soft. Oh my gosh! It's chat! Mm-hmm. Sorry. I know, I need to make something that makes noise. Okay, what do we need to do? Can we just add something to Moobot? Can Moobot play noises? Does Moobot know how to play sounds? Well, I know, but if I don't have the haunted house server running, I'd have to start all that stuff. I just wondered if Moobot could do that. Build your own bot. I know, I'll get around to it at some point. Ugh, Draclin, I don't want to put it all on AWS. Well, the play sound is not even written in. Well, Lily, I have to write this. Okay, so here's where we are in life. Here's where we are in life, Lily. We are trying to do this. Twitch is having this contest. Not this. This contest where if you build an extension that uses AWS, it has to use AWS, you can win 15 grand. I know. Oh, Lily, I can't explain to you how the initial prototypes of all this stuff, I got up and using Heroku in like truly 10 minutes. It was so easy. And then porting it to AWS so that I could submit it for this contest probably took 8 or 9 or 10 hours like of pure frustration. It was the worst. I better win because they're already charging me too much, which weirdly, like, using Elastic Beanstalk, I'm forced to use like 5 different AWS services and they're all charging me money. But the one that charges the most money is the load balancer, and I don't understand why, because it seems like it's the one that's doing the least of all of the things, but it just charges me money all the time, not like based on use. Anyway, so this is the goal. Yes, that they will give me $15,000, and as soon as I get that $15,000, I'm immediately turning off AWS and switching back to Heroku. Maybe not, but strongly considering it. Yeah, we need a fuzzy. This needs to be fuzzy. We could do some kind of really weird Fresnel shader where it's like, angle of incidence. Okay, yeah. So here's how Fresnel works normally. Is like you're looking at the thing and it's black, and then when you're perpendicular to the thing, it's white. So it's like a dot product, but only, yeah, it's like the dot product, because dot product would give you 0. The dot product of the angle of the normal relative to the viewing angle, I think. And then it goes like this, and once it hits right here, it's all the way white. But we could write our own so that we did some kind of like smooth step or something. I don't know. Just to give it some fuzz on the outside too. Maybe we would do that. That's what I'm talking about right now, Life is Yours. I know it needs to be faded on the edges. It's just not easy to do with the Fresnel shader. The easy way to do that is just to throw up a big giant sprite. That's alpha E. That's okay, I forgive you. Ionis? I don't know Ionis. But the problem, Lily, they're not going to give me $15,000, are they? I got to do this contest. It's my only purpose in life. I don't think I can make a... What are all these notifications I can get? Okay, what are all these notifications? Raid notification, bits notifications. Ooh, I can make it where I can charge you money to get my attention. That sounds not cool. Well, that's kind of lame. Okay, Moobot does not seem to do the thing that I want. Cool. Yeah, I used DigitalOcean, but I don't know. I don't know Ionis. I don't like the Titans. I like just the little easy things like Heroku. Ionis, Europe's largest web host. Well, I see. Okay. Yeah, okay. So, I don't know. I don't really want to spend a ton of time on the atmosphere. However, I would agree that we do want those edges softened, but maybe we could just put it through a smooth step. And then make the top edge like 0.9 instead. No, leave that one. Nope. That's the wrong way. 0.2, 0.9. What? Oh, this. We're doing great. We're doing very well. I want to choke inwards. That's weird that you can invert it like that. This is not quite working like I had hoped. Smooth step's not the way to do this. We could figure out some way to do it, but really I think just switching to a big sprite is the easy answer, because then we could doll it up a little bit. Cloud servers too, unlimited bandwidth. Cool. I'm pretty pleased. I used A2 forever for hosting, but I switched last year to DigitalOcean. Like, mostly I like the super cloudy stuff, like, again, like Heroku. I host web pages all the time, just with GitHub pages, stuff like that. But I'm in it for the money this time, for the money. Okay, I know. So what do we need to do now? We got partially through this, and then we were gonna add the metallics. No. Sell out? Am I sell out for making a Twitch extension trying to get money? I've won a few contests before making things. Really just one big one. A few years ago I won this contest to come up with a game pitch to get people to save money. And I got $10,000 for it. It was pretty good. And so every once in a while it's worth like trying to do this thing, I think. Get paid to make some weird thing rather than just making nonsense for free, as is my normal pattern. Why does this look so insane? Did I not set it here? That's why. Okay. So we need the metallic, and this is slightly annoying because we have to split out the smoothness ourselves. But that's not the worst thing in the world. So the metallic's going to come out. Going in is going to be this same mask. And then we just need all these jokers. Yeah, we just got to do this whole thing again. but not normals this time. And then all of these fellows need to be these fellows. Water, sand, plants. Why are the plants so shiny? That doesn't seem right. Is that just not assigned? Yep. Can you have an edge shader on the shader? That's what I was trying to do with the smooth step, but I just need to spend a little time to think about it. To like ramp that direction too. I mean, that's one of those things where it's one of those things where it's like, oh, I know how I would write that. Like, we would just do something like, I don't know, give a max to the dot product or multiply that dot product by some value or something like that. But I just don't quite know how to do that in this land. Okay, so this should just give me... We need a channel... What is it? We need a split for this one. Because we really only want to send the alpha to smoothness. Okay. So this should now give us our metallicness. You still loving Godot? How are things in Godot land? Okay, this is not right. This is not good. Why does this doesn't look very smooth to me? So we're going 1,000 frames per second. Something just doesn't seem quite right. Okay. Life is yours. Did strike oil. Should I try Godot? I don't know. But I love Unity so much. Okay. What did I do? Oh, I know. I know again. This is a slightly annoying thing. I'm not crazy about this. That I need to set this, like, I feel like I have to set this 4 times before it works. Okay. No more oil. I'm sorry. And now the grass isn't weird and shiny. That looks okay. I mean, other than the grass looking stupid. I know, just don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. Okay, let's make some mountains, I think. Should these be texture arrays? Would that be any better? I don't actually know. I've not done much at all with texture arrays in Unity. I'm curious about them. I'd be curious to know more. I don't think that would actually help us performance-wise. Like, set pass-wise, it's fine, because this only has to happen 1 time. It's just... Why do we have 10 set pass calls? One of them is to draw that. One is the atmosphere. The sphere is 1. What's going on here? Why do we have 7 set pass calls without anything? In the scene? That sounds like shadows or something. What's going on, camera? What are you doing? No shadows. Anti-aliasing must be done as in post-processing and lightweight. Depth isn't costing us anything. Is that just like some baseline for the... Oh! Oh, that's not cool. Really? I'm not into that. Each side of the skybox costs a draw call when it's a cube map like that. I didn't know that was true. I don't think that normally is true. Is that always the case? I don't remember that being the case. Maybe it's because we're using this 6-sided one. It has to do it that way, but we were having trouble otherwise. A raid? Hey, how's it going? Welcome back again. Tall Tech, welcome. Kevin. We're drawing the planet. We're still being planetary like last night. It's starting to look more like a planet than just a jawbreaker, which is an improvement, I would say, right? Oops. Let's see. Okay, so I think we are kind of to the point that we want to start adding some more layers now that we have a semi-okay strategy for it. I don't love it. Okay, well, actually, I want to try one thing. Let's just try one thing. What if we add a 2D texture array? If we did it like this, would it feel slightly less gross? You have to create an array like that? Maybe I don't want to do that. Maybe I don't want to do it. Make some cookies. Excellent idea. Brilliant idea. Thank you so much for the raid. Thank you for the host once again. Have a lovely night. Life is yours. Are you going to let Lily seduce you away? You're going to switch away just to make new grass. I know it. Okay, I don't know about this texture array. I think we'll just send in 4 million textures. Doesn't this seem horrifically inefficient? We kind of need all the channels, though. I know, Life is Yours is free agent. It's gone rogue. How long have we been streaming? Okay. I need a better strategy for... Not you. That was our first one. Like, managing this window just seems kind of annoying. Okay, so I guess we're just gonna keep doing this the same way, even though it feels ridiculous and horrifically inefficient, but I guess it's not that bad because it at least happens in a single pass. Okay, so let's do this. Let's make another thing, and this one will be what? Rocks. We still probably want trees. Let's have mountains. No. Advanced material. Export this thing. No, export this thing. Go to substance then. Lily, seducing life is yours. Over to Godot. Shocked by what I'm seeing happening right before my own eyes. Life is yours. I thought we determined that your real calling is just Minecraft mods. Why don't you just start doing all your, make like a Minecraft bee, just do everything in Minecraft. Don't you know that mods are like where it's at now? It blows my mind. I guess it only kind of blows my mind, but that auto chess is as popular as it is because it's like a mod of a mod. Isn't that kind of weird? The Windows 10 version isn't written in Java, right? But it doesn't have mods, I think. What's going on Twitch, actually? People playing auto chess? Is every person on Earth still playing Apex? 300,000 for Apex. Whoa! Is there a League of Legends tournament or something? Why is League of Legends above Fortnite? What is happening? There's something important happening? Is that normal? We'll pour Dota down here. We'll pour PUBG down here. Let's go RuneScape. Where's Dota Auto Chess? People not stream that? Minecraft, here it is, Life is Yours, it's where you belong. Or does Auto Chess count as Dota? Like, are there auto chess games in here? There are. Ooh, that's kind of sneaky. Double creepers. Oh, nice. People trying to catch up on Metro before Exodus comes out? I don't know what to do about Exodus. What do I do? I guess I buy it from the Epic Store? That feels weird. Something about it just doesn't feel right. Dracklin's favorite. You're using the light layout of Twitch. Should I not? Is that in settings? Is there like a dark thing? Where do you change that? Dark mode. Wait. How do I want dark mode. Maybe I should just switch. Now everybody does dark mode on everything. Maybe it's time that I like flip the switch a little bit. Oh, it's just in the little profile, dude. Dark mode. Okay, are you happy now? Are you happy? Everybody's happy now. Whatever, watch this. Wait, I pay so much money for Unity Pro just so I can have dark mode, but just for you, Life is Yours. I wanna switch to like, what's the lightest mode I can put this in? I don't even know where that is. I feel like Unity Pro is so weird now because you basically pay for, you're paying them a lot of money to not show the splash screen, kind of. Where is that now? Then editor settings? I don't even know where it is. I can't taunt you. Life is yours. You just did it again with your. You're so good at English, except for like 2 words. Where? Oh, it's called personal. So weird. This stuff is editor scan, personal. Ah, yeah, look at that. Beautiful light. I want it to be lighter. How do I make it even lighter? Okay, Lily. So much more less paler. I don't like the way this looks. Who was I watching? I can't remember who it was. Some streamer I was watching had their editor in like a super light theme. It was out of control. In this case, it's just like whether or not you want to use the personal edition theme or otherwise. We go to Visual Studio and really hurt your eyes. It's just weird that like dark mode is suddenly sort of like a, I don't know, you know, it's come to the operating systems. It's just kind of a faddish sort of thing, I feel like, maybe. But like pro software has always been dark. Kind of a little boring. Is that right? Because of all these night people. I don't really like websites dark. I don't know why. Okay. I've just lost the thread on what we're doing. We're making rocks, right? Do we even bring in the thing? No. Let's bring in... mountains material. We'll have to go through and make these awful, less awful at some point. They're already awful. We want it to be less awful. Okay. Rocks are really where Substance excels, I feel like. I feel like we're going to find some great rocks. Problem is we need them kind of from outer space. Raw flint looks pretty cool. That looks kind of mountainous, right? French coastline, low tide soil. Four equals 4. That's just good math, right? And look at that cool planetoid. Maybe you should give me Norwegian lessons. I can learn Norwegian while I stream. This one's cool. I like this one. Italian fieldstone. The rocks look so pretty. They're so beautiful. Look at that shiny quartzite. Okay, I think... Oh, we're still going. Gray Mountain's pretty good. I think for the scale we want, that flint... Look at that. Travertine. That looks like a planet. Beautiful. It's a little bit like Jupiter. 2 is the same as 4, is it not? What do you mean by that? Two means no, the TOU. 2 is the same. TOO is means either in excess or as well. That one's okay. Are you just toying with me? Life is yours. I know. It's fine. I just sometimes can't tell if you're like giving me a hard time or if you're asking a legitimate question. So I think of these, man, that's beautiful. Look at that. I think that Flint we saw earlier was the most sort of mountainous. That one's kind of cool though. Alien exostructure. This one I think is kind of the closest to mountains in outer space. Well, sometimes I like this and sometimes I don't. Kind of like it here, but it may be too repetitive when we scale it up. We can maybe mess with the noise sizes a little. Okay, so we've got this stuff. We have moon rocks. I really don't like this about Substance. Can't you tell what it is? I downloaded it from your site. Is Substance first built into this? Maybe I shouldn't even be... Maybe it jokes on me. I thought there used to be a thing. Get more samples. That takes me to Substance Share. They don't have a browser in it? I don't know. I actually was kind of thinking that maybe they did, but... Or even if not, like, with Intents, you can open an application straight from a browser now. Just tell it to download for me. Okay, so this means we want to be mountainous, and we should just have to do this. We should have a mountainy planet. Cool. So we want to scale there. That's already pretty cool, actually. I would maybe like it to be more gray than brown. Where's the color come from? This is from GameTextures.com. Man, the tab button, I've complained about this already. I'm going to complain about it again. The tab button in Source zooms in. So if you're like trying to tab between fields, like, oh, I typed something in here, let me just tab over here. Nope, no go. Let's get 4K. Rock shape, height, band, base color, hue. Weird that it goes. Actually, how about this? Why don't we just desaturate a little? Yeah, that's what we want. Okay. And gross. Made it shiny. I was hoping there would be some other kind of noisy thing we could do. Well, let's just try this because we can always revisit it. Keybinds. I wonder, maybe that's a good question. I don't know if you can actually edit the key bindings here. Shortcuts. Hide UI is tab. What if we made that tilde instead? Good thinking, life is yours. Is tilde already something? Let's see it. Okay, that still doesn't mean it will do what I want it to do, but it will maybe annoy me less. Look, it does let you tab. Life is yours, you're a genius. Thank you. I really am not like a, it's not always full screen. I feel like some software it's, like what is it in Unity? Unity shift spacebar? What is it in here? Shift spacebar. Some program I use, maybe it's Final Cut, maybe it's Logic, maybe it's Adobe Premiere, is tilde. There's some pro software uses tilde for like expanding in an individual panel. Okay, let's man, we gotta find spheres with better UVs. Let us export textures and hopefully not freeze the stream. Are we gonna freeze the stream? Not frozen yet. Maya does use space, you're correct. I think we did it. I'd really try to not, because I switch between so many different pieces of software and often between multiple computers. I used to be hyper into like custom configurations, key binding, stuff like that. I just never do it now. I try to just develop the muscle memory to hit the right thing. But to me, tab is unacceptable. Like if it was shift tab or alt tab or whatever, it would be fine. But tab already means something. Tab already means something. Okay, so now we have what? Now we have mountains. We need to make our mountains normals into normals. And now we will go in here and add even more fields to this already insane shader. So we need mountains albedo, mountains normal, mountains metallic. And then for each of these, inside our little sub-friend, we need to add a vector 4 that is mountains. And now we need what? For each one of these, we need to do this. What a mess. And then change this to mountains. Oh no. Get out of here, you. Mountains, normals. And this really feels kind of wrong. This feels inefficient in a way. I don't have immediately a better solution. Okay, so now, assuming we did all that correctly, there's a lot of textures. A whole lot of textures. Now we need to go in our little combiner and do another thing. That's where the mask comes in. So really we need to do this again. Like this, but then this is going to go in here. This is going to come out here. And then we'll do like 0.6 to 0.9 or something like that. I'm going to come up with the proper divisions here. And then this needs to be not plants, but mountains. And then that should all output. Okay, let's see how we did. Surely I did not get that right on the first try. This doesn't seem possible. I forgot to do this, because I forget to do this every time. But that still doesn't seem like the entire problem. Must have missed something. Did I not save some piece of this? Mountains going in. Mountains. That all looks right. Did I do something wrong inside the combine? Oh, I didn't hook this up. Oh no, time for distraction. Wow. Wow. It's very good. Very good. Very good job. Thank you for that. Life is yours. Okay, now mountains. Look at those mountains. They're not really very mountainous. You're very good at your job. You're good at your job. I have to admit. What are we at? We at 2 hours. Did Backblaze mess me up yet? So Movement in the water? I know. I need it. That was what I was complaining about earlier, is the way I set this up does not make that easy, unfortunately. But probably what I would do is just go in and do custom stuff for the water. But I do agree with you. I mean, at a minimum, we could animate the bump at a different rate than the... in fact, let's just try that, because that'd be probably the easiest thing to do. Is just have the bump moving a little differently. How would we do that? We went into the normals here. What we would need to do, not here, out here. We would want to mess with the normals in the sampler. And this is the normal UV coordinate. So if we got like UV 0, yeah, and then fed this in here, it should be the same. But now let's do some kind of time offset. So we want to like add. So if we just took in this and spit this out, and then we wanted to create, we need to make, how do we make a vector 4? Okay, one thing I'm liking about the shader graph is I just guess. If I just make something up and it kind of works, which is pretty good. And now we will send time into the X, and then, okay, that's cool. That's a bit much. We need to probably multiply that by some amount. Stick in the X and the Y. Sure. Ooh. Don't touch the Y. The UVs on the Y UVs are bad. Bad UVs. Ooh. Undo. Disconnect. Doesn't really look right though. I wonder if that's set to repeat. Still very fast. Now we'll just let the water have a little bit of movement. Probably still too much. I don't know, that's not horrible. I mean, I could, but there's no reason to, because I can do it all in the shader. It'll be faster this way than like writing scripts to set parameters. Because then this is all in the GPU. Now what would be better is if the layers of the noise were separate. So like if this bump moved, but also that individual noise layer, which I could do, that would just require recreating some stuff here. To the noise, well, this isn't really, I mean, that's static, right? We could recreate that, but that's a texture. It doesn't have to be. This still seems so fast. Oh, I bet I know why. Maybe I don't know why. So So for what you would want to do, instead of sending in albedo like this, we would want to try to manufacture our own texture. Problem is we would not be able to probably tile it as nicely because of the UVs on this thing. Because I don't think the noise that we could generate here does not tile nicely in the way that the noise from substance tiles, which is kind of a bummer. Maybe we could do something where we were just animating the offset of the noise and then not rotating that part of the planet, or like counter rotating it so it would seem like it never rotated. Maybe we don't rotate the planet at all and we just offset the textures. That is a thing that would be maybe possible. But to do kind of what you're describing, man, look at this mess. Woof. Let's try to condense this at least a little bit. Yeah, so that would look like this. The problem is this just is not going to tile. Like, we'll see seams on this, but maybe we could potentially come up with a way around that. It would just be a little bit crazy. I wish I could just make this input, like set this to a variable and reuse it. So instead of having this connect everywhere, if I could have like, I want to stick it, I want some, like, is there a utility node for that? Yeah, because this noise won't tile. Like if so right now this is where this texture comes from. We sample it from here. Instead of doing that, we could do procedural noise. Like Perlin noise. And then feed this in here instead. And it would take some work, but we could probably get it looking okay. Maybe we don't want gradient. Maybe we want simple noise. Oops. Actually, the Verneuil might be the way to go. Maybe some combination of... Nah. Like some combination of these, like apply some noise to that, would probably look watery. But maybe... So we'd want something like a gradient ramp. We do that? Like, oh, that's actually cool if we can do this. And we would lerp between these two colors. Well, that's not how we do it. We don't even need a gradient. We just would need two colors. Like some dark watery blue and some blue-green blue color. And then lerp between these. By this amount. And then stick this in here. For example, it's not contrasty enough or big enough. Yeah, something like that. Really want scale. Wooder, yeah. But then we would want we'd want actually different scales on the UVs. But to animate this, I don't actually know how you know, we would need 3D noise because we'd want to animate. Like, how do you animate the seed, kind of like? If we wanted the noise to fluctuate, you'd need 3D noise. Is there only 2D noise here? Was gradient noise 3D? No, not you. I want 3-dimensional noise. Guess I could just sample from some other. That wouldn't be the same. Like, if you want the noise to like properly animate, you need a 3rd dimension. I don't know how you would do that easily here. The problem is we probably have a big seam on our butt now. Yeah, because this noise doesn't know how to tile, and that's why I use the texture from Substance. But we could animate this and do everything with texture animation and not animate the globe at all, potentially. But the thing I think we really want, like that shifting of noise, I don't think we'll quite get from this anyway. Now we could have multiple noise textures and animate them separately, maybe from like two tileable noises from Substance. Look at this mess we've done here. But I'm not worried about that at this moment, I think. We may revisit that. But at this moment, we'll just use this noise. Or this wooder, because it's the wooder we have. Oops, I didn't mean to cancel that. You want this to be Planet Neptune? Where's Vix? We haven't seen Vix for days. Oh, the grass looks so silly. The planet's not wet enough. What does it look like from far away? Does it look better? We could maybe do some clouds. We don't want clouds that are too dense, though. The problem with, like, when you look at real pictures of the Earth, the clouds are hugely, like they occlude a lot. Like, very often it's just like this ball of clouds. For the clouds, we'd probably like do the noise and then mess with the UVs. I wish we could have 3-dimensional noise. Like all the little swirls. You'd kind of want to do, what you could do is do 2 layers of noise and have one displace the other. I don't know if you can displace easily with the shader graph. That would like help you get the swirls. Kind of like how we do the face displace. Yeah, but that's more for the vertex. Like they're doing that water with vertex shading, and they don't have to worry about seams. Like, I mean, sorry, vertex animation. They're doing the water animation itself with those shaders. That's why that shader looks so fancy. It's really pretty. But they're kind of more concerned with this animation is coming from the shader, which that must be a pretty dense mesh. Cool. I mean, that's just normal. Like, video game water is usually just layers of noise interacting with each other. That's kind of what's going on the surface of water. There's a bunch of noises noising it up. And we could do it. It's just that stupid seam. I don't know easily how to make that tileable. I don't know. There's probably a trick. Excuse me. Unity, shader, graph, tile. Tiling and offset node. Oh, that's just to kind of repeat, though. But you can use it for textures over time. Maybe we could use that. Kind of in what we were just trying to do, but actually do it with a... That's just to get the UVs, though. I mean, I guess we can feed this into... These just seem to not be tiley, right? Like this noise, the noise it generates is not tileable noise. So even if we did this, it would not really help us. We need... Oops. Oops. No, you go in here. If we did like 2 by 2. Oh wait, that is tiling. Why? How does it work? It just doesn't... That doesn't seem right. I mean, I guess that's the sampling. That's not really what it's going to look like. Unless we could, like, come up with... I don't know. You know, the shader graph is not done. It's still in preview, all that stuff. Three-dimensional noise would be a help. That does seem kind of missing. Three-dimensional noise seems weird to not have that. Or four-dimensional noise, just more than 2 dimensions. It's not enough noise dimensions. So we could do something like this, but that's not quite the right idea. I mean, we could. But then we couldn't rotate the planet, and we'd have to do everything through rotating the textures, and that just seems a little annoying. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. You could do that, like animate the noise, but then not rotate the planet. Like, you know, it's you could come up with a way to do that. Maybe we will. Maybe we'll decide to do that and do all the rotating animation not through, because we could do this whole thing without actually rotating the globe. You could still you could just animate the click texture along, I think. No, you have to rotate the globe. Yeah, you don't strictly have to. You have to at least rotate the collider, I think, because the collider is what's going to give you the UV coordinates. And if it's not rotating, you'll click the same place every time. So I think it is easier for now to just stick with this. The atmosphere is real thin. I like our bigger atmosphere more. I mean, we're making a weird stylized planet. Look at that thin, just barely any atmosphere. I like this glowing atmosphere where the sun is hitting it from the other side. That's pretty cool. I guess we can make our atmosphere emissive. Ours just looks like a weird space bubble. Let's see, what else do we want to do? None of the textures look very good, but that's fine because they're easy enough to swap out. I kind of want to add way more contrast to the height of the rocks. Big bubble ready to pop, it's true. Just a space bubble. Is the thing running? The thing's not running. You can't click. We should run the thing. Oh, you were ready. You were ready to go. Did a lot more skip. That wasn't you? Who was it? Who's doing that? Who is doing it? There's a robot named Draklin. Oh, Ben's in here. It's still happening. I'm not... The clicks don't get buffed for... Well, they do for a short amount of time. No, there's kisses coming in. This is very suspect. Okay, that's you with the kisses. Where'd all those other clicks come from? So they do kind of get buffered in that the Redis pub sub, like when a click comes through, it gets cached and then spit back out. Who was it at the start? Quite suspicious. Some kissing bandit came along. Why is my CPU usage so high right now? I feel like it's higher than normal streaming. This shouldn't be very CPU intensive. I think this doesn't need to live this long because we don't really care if the land comes back around. Like, it's kind of better if it's always coming as sort of a blank canvas and then de-terraforms before your eyes, right? Okay, let's change this a little bit because we don't get enough, not enough sand. Like, we're not really taking advantage of our full gradation here. So inside our little combiner fellow, because this could be like 0 to 2. This might be a bad idea. 0 to 2, and this could be 3 to 5. No, this could be 0 to 3, 4 to 6. How do I want to do this? Why can't I think of this? 3 things. That would only be if they were divided equally. But I guess we could. 4 to 6 and then 8 to 10. I don't know if we really want these divided equally, but I'm sure we will redivide them at some point. Is that better? I have to work a little more to get the mountains. That just makes the band of grass, just makes the edge so sharp, which we don't really want. It's better when it's smooth. I think it's better when it's a little smoother than this. Wrong one. Why is that? Because that edge in there, is that just a solid color in there? Uh-oh. I made a rocky earth. What did I do? This is supposed to be 0.33. I know, a moon with atmosphere. I did it. I did the impossible. It's fun to click. I'll give it that. The grass looks ridiculous. It looks really funny with the kisses on. Maybe we can do without the kisses for a moment. Okay, let's do this. Let's do build and really run it full screen for a minute and just take it in. Let's just take it in. What? Oh. Oh, I kind of want to look at it in VR. This beautiful, shiny earth ball we've made. Excuse me. Pardon me. Just slightly choked myself. Okay. Mono bleeding edge. Oh, no. Is this gonna... Okay, that's good. Okay. Oh, man, I showed the splash screen. I paid good money to not see that. Is this gonna work? It does. That looks not horrible. I mean, we definitely need to do work on the textures, but hey. I don't know if Ultra would actually make any difference because I'm using the lightweight render pipeline. We can try it. Let's try Ultra. Probably it's just going to make the performance bad. Oh yeah, post-processing. How could I... Okay, wait. Let's do that right now. How could I forget? We got UV problems we need to fix. Excuse me, please. Okay, so we need to, let's see if I can remember how to do this. This is a post-processing layer. That worked very well. Post-processing. Now we need a post-processing volume that is global, that is on the post-processing layer with a new post-processing profile with some bloom. It sure doesn't seem happy. Life is yours. We have caused a problem. Yeah, I mean, it easily could be that this version of the render pipeline that I'm using with this version of Unity. Can I download a version of Unity while streaming? I guess I can, right? That won't hurt anybody. Okay, let that download. Then we can maybe update our packages. Maybe that will support newer packages. Maybe it's because Substance is running or something. Who knows? Who knows? Is what a thing. New version of post-processing. I think that's the newest version that will work with that version of Unity we're using. But potentially if I upgrade to a newer version of Unity, then I will get a newer version of the post-processing stack. Maybe. Okay. Meanwhile, let's just try Ultra, which I don't know will actually look any different. You have the newest, but are you using the lightweight render pipeline? Maybe that looks a little better. Maybe I was using half resolution textures on low. The grass looks absurd. Like, you could almost convince me that the rock and the sand was like legitimate, but the rock or the grass just looks silly. It was a silly choice. We need a big particle star system out there too. Of course. This runs pretty well still. The grass just looks like a silly joke. There's something though, I noticed this on the stream last night. Like in the stream, does it look stuttery? There seems to be something with the frame rate, which doesn't make sense because it should be VSync, so it should be rendering 60 frames per second, and my stream is at 30, so it should be okay, but it's like, I don't know. Something on the stream just looks a little bit chunky. This song is called Pizza Cake. I feel like I've commented on that before, but here we are again. Pizza Cake. Oh, my bitrate start to tank. Shouldn't be from downloading. Okay, I like what you've done with the place. I need to change the scaling on the water bump because it's stretched. Okay, this water looks, I mean, the grass looks too stupid. We just can't deal with it. While we wait for the new Unity to download, we will at least like scale it and make it darker. Or is there, what else? Let's see if there's something else we like better. Maybe the grass was a poor choice all along. Man, that Unity download's eating on my bandwidth. Look at this ridiculous. This is just outrageous. Man, we can't even load fonts. Can't even load words. Where do you set the pipeline? You have to go to the... These are all in preview, so you have to go to the package manager. Yeah, it's got oil. Go to the package manager, and then under advanced, say that you want preview packages, and then you have to install the scriptable render pipeline and the lightweight render pipeline. And then in your project graphics settings, you have to set a pipeline asset. It's all kind of clunky at this point, but you know, it's not final. I mean, maybe this moss is better. We don't need all the little cute clovers though. The jungle floor. I like this. This moss is pretty good. We could just have a solid ball of moss. Well, that was weird. It's just monitors just blinked at me in a weird way. This looks so different. Pitch grass painted. Isn't that what I used? I don't have the paint. Where's my paint? Or did I use this one? What did I use? We used grass pattern. So maybe we would, I mean, part of it was just the scale, I guess. And all this stuff that has leaves and stuff is just gonna look silly from space. Well, this is a better color. Maybe we can like turn off the sticks layers. Kind of imagine we could. Let's get that one. Let's also get this moss. I kind of like. I think maybe the moss is actually the way to go. Let me just turn off the leaves. This looks ridiculous. Why does this look not even slightly like the picture? Like, not even a little bit. Turn off all the small plants. Why are you so shiny? I don't know. I'm not feeling that. Okay, go to bed. Thanks for hanging out. Life is yours. Have a lovely evening. I'm gonna just try to get the grass greener. And then probably call it, because we're coming up on 3 hours. The bell is tolling for me. What just killed my bitrate? Backup's paused. Awesome. Thank you so much. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I feel okay about getting one of the honorable mentions. That seems not beyond the realm of possibility, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Have a great night. Does it hurt my bitrate to do things in substance? My stream ruined? Hello? Hello there? Sorry if the stream's going crazy. Why would this be affecting the stream encoding? I gotta do some experiments. Hello? Is it me? Hi. Okay. Well, this is not great either, really. We just need some weird combination of them. Are we struggling? I don't know about this. I feel like it just doesn't look very good. I feel like it looks worse. Moss is so silly. Well, let's just do this for now. Can't be worse than what we had, right? Maybe it can. Stream, you're killing me. Hope the audio is okay at least. What is the actual problem here? Is this really Substance doing this? Well, now it probably is, because that was probably... Maybe that stuff is CPU intensive. In which case, could see it causing issues. Maybe I just need to not use Substance on stream, or I need to encode. Look at this. This looks so lush and good. Why was it looking so bad? Okay, let's try this with this new thing. We're gonna try this one thing. Hopefully the post-processing works now. Look at this lush leaf. That's what we want. This luscious leaf. Maybe I should have a separate computer for streaming. I don't know. I don't know, man. What is going on, actually, CPU? Let's check out my friend the task manager. That was weird. VBC or some compiler something. Unity's up there. But we seem pretty steady at the moment. Who's eating up the GPU? OBS is, which is weird because I didn't think I was using. Well, Chrome is. Chrome is a devourer of worlds. It'll just eat anything. Okay. I hope when we look at the package manager, there will be updates. There's not to anything we care about. Does post-processing not work with lightweight? That'd be a real bummer. I thought I had done that though. Did I do something wrong? I feel like I did the things. Failed to open stdlib HLSL. Oops. Wait. Hidden post-processing. Well, this said there's an income. Somebody got this problem. That doesn't seem like my problem. Googling for problems. What's the issue? Nobody knows. Assets post-processing shaders standard lib. Assets post-processing shaders. I mean, it's right here. What's wrong with it? Why can't you be found? It's something about my graphics API, or what's the problem? Can I search in packages? Or, yeah. So, failed to open source file. This right here. In hidden post-processing Uber. This fellow, which is in this directory, is supposed to look up one level into shaders and find this. Why can't you? I mean, that seemed like it compiled. Track 3D11. What's wrong, friends? Why is my bitrate like a ski slope going down? This is sure annoying. I guess we can ditch this, really. I don't think it's the cause of our problems, but let's just try to remove and re-add this package and hope for the best, I guess. We got upset somehow. Pretty weird. I haven't really had problems with the post-processing stack in a while. Is there like something just changed? Not since the 30th. Are we happy now? What did I forget? Yeah, post-processing profile. Is this really a problem, or does this like... Not layer post-processing. This is on layer post-processing. It's a thing. It has things. Seems broken. Oops. Who's processing volume? Anybody? Add this. Say it's global. Say you're on post-processing layer. A bunch of nothing happens. Failed to open source file. When I look in here, this include why would that be true? Something weird about my render settings? Hard time imagining what that would be. Like, wait, now it works? The threshold's high. Should be low. Okay, now it works. You just need to re-import, I guess. Weird. Okay. So, yeah, a little bit of bloom. But yeah, it's not really doing much for us. Depth of field would be kind of cool. I don't know if it actually works with the skybox though. And, you know, planets wouldn't really be a thing happening at a planetary level. Color space and project settings. Is that not a thing handled by the pipeline? I don't remember where that is actually. I kind of want to say that it's lying and that it's not there. I might be wrong about that. It's here. Okay. That's weird. It's got weird text mesh pro messages, I guess because we re-imported. I don't need them, thank you. Thanks, no thanks. Okay. Oh, you know, what are we doing here? We got the slightest touch of bloom. Chromatic aberration for no reason at all, other than it's there. Could do some filmic tone mapping, make it all dark. We don't want that. We could use like a little contrast though. That ground is, you know, at least slightly less offensive. Right. Looks a little bit more like a thing. Got some invalid JSON. Okay. That looks all right. Excuse me. My goodness, I think I need to stop streaming. I'm getting tired. We've been going for 3 hours. It's already 6 p.m. Where did the days go so fast when I do these long streams? Okay, I'm like semi-okay with this. Let's add one more thing. One more thing. I don't want to rotate everything, but maybe I don't want to actually. Pre-warm this. Really doesn't make any sense, but kind of like it. Maybe we'll change it. Maybe we should rotate the other way just for some contrast. I just stuck it in there because that was already rotating and it was easy enough. Okay, let's do the thing. I gotta stop hitting the microphone. I apologize. It's so sleepy. Is it dark outside? Goodness. Good heavens. Got all these emails and texts while we're streaming. Lunch. Let's do lunch. Great. Heroku bills. Outrageous. A phone call with an agency in town. I don't know if I want to deal with that. Do I? We'll see. Not a talent agency. Like an advertising agency. Okay. We're just going to assume everything's perfect. And run it on ultra just to make my computer sad. And then we're gonna go over here. I feel like I really mess up the streams when I use Substance. Like, truly break them. Okay. Click on this. Uh-oh. Something's broken. Oh, because that's my fault. I broke it. I'm the one who broke it because I just closed Visual Studio Code and we need that. Silly. And I didn't tell it to reconnect. It doesn't know how to reconnect, so it's just broken. Okay, now here we go. Okay, I'm clicking the stream. Look at that. Look at that planet grow. Look at those not great plants. The water and sand are okay. The mountains are very not mountainous, but the grass is just silly. It's just silly. Excuse me, please. I'm so sleepy. I'm trying to make a heart. Can I do it? A Valentine. Here's our planetary Valentine. Since Life is Yours is not here to draw anything lewd. Still feels like there should be a way to do this more efficiently without all these different textures. Just seems not quite right. Because we have so many textures here. Our water ball still doesn't feel quite the way it should. Some kind of environmental reflection is maybe what we need. Do we set up a reflection probe with Maybe a probe. We just need to tell it what to reflect, I guess. Okay, anyway. I think we're good. I think we're good here. I think we're good. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks, of course, to Draklin and Life is Yours. Thanks for the raid again. From Tall Tech. Thanks for Lily stopping by. Appreciate ya. That's a Ben thing to say. I stole that from Ben. Encode Games. Okay. I didn't do laundry today. I was supposed to do laundry. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, I gotta go do laundry. Thank you. Goodbye.